everyone, I'm Jill, the Wandering Stamper. I'm coming to you today from Homestead, Florida. We've spent the last couple of days here and got an opportunity to visit Biscayne National Park. Interesting thing about that is most of it's underwater. It's one of the rare underwater national parks in the country. It may actually be the only one. We enjoyed seeing a lot of wildlife, and today it is super hot. We head to Central Florida tomorrow to see family, so I thought today's a great day to show you how to make a new card. Some exciting news I wanted to tell you about. The new annual catalog comes out May 2nd from Stampin' Up!, which is great. I have gotten the opportunity to preview it, and there are so many really fun stamp sets and beautiful papers. They're doing a color reset, so there's some new ink colors and paper colors coming out, and the 2023 ink colors, oh, you're gonna love them. They are fabulous. I can't wait to get them. Unfortunately, I can't show you the catalog yet. I don't even have it. One of the drawbacks to traveling all the time is I don't get my mail very often, so I'm still waiting on getting my catalog, but you will be able to see it starting May 2nd. It'll be on my online on my online store, so you'll be able to download it and look through all the beautiful things. I'll also be showcasing some of the newest sets that are out there. So today we're going to be using the Days to Remember and the Petal Park stamp sets. I love these. These were out last year, and happily they did bring them back in the new catalog. So if you don't have them, you can still purchase them. They're going to be here along with Petal Park. They also still have the, what is it called? The Sentimental Park stamp set that goes with it is also still available, and the punch, the Petal Park punch builder, that will be in the new catalog as well. So you're not going to miss out on any of those stamps that we're using for the card today. So if you're ready, let's get started on our card. Today we are going to make this cute little tent folded card. I have to see what I call it. Didn't write that down, but it is super cute. It stands all on its own. It's got a little stopper, and we are going to use the Days to Remember stamp set and create our calendar. And this is a Mother's Day card. Super cute. I will take some photos of it standing up. Obviously you can't see that from the angle that I have the camera, but the card opens up and you have plenty of room to put your message and write your greeting for that special mom in your life. This bottom piece is a nice little stopper, so it stands up on its own and creates the perfect little card for Mother's Day. And then we're going to show you another little variation at the end. So let's get started on making this card. This card is super cute. It's pretty easy to make. There are just a few cutting dimensions. So first we're going to use Balmy Blue because I love this color, and we are using paper from the Regency Park Designer Series paper that I have. Unfortunately, this is not in the new catalog, but that's okay. There are tons of really beautiful Designer Series papers. Just pick what you like and coordinate your cardstock colors with that paper, and you can make this card with anything. So first we're going to take a standard sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. We're going to cut it to 4.25 by 11. So basically we're just cutting it in half. Love this cutter. You can actually make two cards because here's your other sheet. So once we cut that to 4.25 by 11, we're going to score it at 4.25 and 8.5. Okay. So that's all we're going to do there. And then we are going to fold it, it's my bone folder, like so. Give it a good crease. And then this piece is where your stopper is getting placed. So I'm going to hold that down as well. So that's what you have. So that's all we're going to do for this right now. I like to burnish it extra good. I got burnish and varnish put together. I guess that makes a brand new word. So we're going to set that aside, and that's our base. And then we're going to get a piece of Designer Series paper for the base, and we're going to cut that at 4 by 4. So I decided to use this because it coordinates beautifully. So I'm going to cut this at 4 by 4. this aside by 4. These are 6x6 sheets of designer series paper. So these little scraps are perfect for another card. All right, that's all we need to do with that. We're gonna set that aside. And now we're gonna create the stopper. So I'm gonna use white and I'm gonna cut, I just have a piece of scrap here. I'm gonna cut it at 7/8 by 2 5/8. Make sure I have 2 5/8 worth. I do. So we're gonna cut it at, what did I say, 7/8. Okay, and 2 5/8. Okay, so we'll set that piece aside, and then we're going to get another piece of colored cardstock, which again I'm just going to use some blue. Oh, I have a scrap, so we'll use that. We're going to use another piece of balmy blue, and that's going to be 3. Let's see, what is that going to be? 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. No, that's 3/4 by 2 1/2. I wrote that down wrong. 3/4. Actually, I'm going to just do 2 1/2. I always try to cut things so I get the most bang out of my scraps. And what did I say? 2 1/2. What did I do? I've lost my mind. Let's do that again. 3/4. Okay. So I will go over these again since I floundered my way through them. So they're going to stack together like this. So the white piece of paper for the stopper is 7/8 by 2 5/8, and then the balmy blue is 3/4 by 2 1/2. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. That is the stopper. And then the inside piece, we're going to get a scrap of white cardstock, and we're going to cut a 4x4 piece of paper for the inside, and this is where you're going to put your greeting. 4x4. Okay, so that's the inside. And then last but not least, we need a nice little piece of designer series paper for the inside bottom. And I have decided to use this. I just think it's all so pretty together. So that is going to be 2 1/4 by 4 inches. So I'm going to cut it 2 1/4. And be mindful if your paper has a direction that you cut it the right way. Mine really doesn't. So that's fine. 4 inches. So 2 1/4 by 4, and then that's going to get layered here. Okay, so that's all the cutting. Really easy. So now we're going to have some fun stamping. So the elements for this card are going to be the calendar and the flowers. So we'll start out with the flowers. All right. So I'm going to ink these up really quick. Okay. I like to do my leaves separately because those don't line up really that well in the punch, so I find it easier to just fussy cut those using that blue. So all you have to do is, I'm going to stamp off. There you go. And 2 and 3. All right. Yeesh. Get that out of the way. All right, now we're going to use Petal Pink because those are some of the colors that are in this paper. And I'm not going to stamp the Petal Pink off because it's not very dark. So, all right, I'm going to line it up. I'm actually just lining up the little flower, and everything else will follow. Pardon my head again. And it really doesn't even matter if you get these out of the lines. It still looks super pretty. Okay, easy, easy, easy. Whoops, stuck my thumb in my paper. Yeah, I'm having one of those days today. Okay, so now we're gonna get our punch. Now, a lot of the time, I will get my scissors out. Wow. And I'll just kind of cut these apart in their little groupings, just so I don't accidentally snag something I don't want to snag with the trimmer. Okay, so when you put these in here, in the correct side, whoops, you just kind of position them in here. Of course, I cut my paper a little small, but that's okay. This, I swear this is really easy to do. I'm being awkward right now. Okay, so you kind of just hold it. If you get, like I said before, if you get one centered, they'll all center. So you get them kind of how you like them. And I just press a little pressure on the punch, and then I can move it around and they won't move on me. See, so that's in there. So once I get it the way I like it, then I just punch it. There you go. And so then all my little flowers are punched out. Do my next one. All right, so those are done. So now we have those little leaves, and see, as you can see, the little leaf is right there, and it's kind of a pain in the butt in my opinion. So with these leaves, they're so easy to fussy cut. I usually just grab my scissors and get it done. I actually already have 2 others cut, so we're just gonna set these aside for time's sake. Okay, so we've got all our flowers. So for the stopper, I just use little ones, so I'm gonna grab those 3 little ones. And then I'm gonna set these aside because we're gonna use these other ones for the front of the card. All right, so now we only have one more thing to do. We wanna stamp something in the inside. So I have a greeting that says Happy Mom Day, and this comes from the Happy and Heartfelt stamps. I think these are going away, so if you love them, get them. I like that the font is very unique, and I do like that it said Happy Mom Day. It was kind of fun. I call my mom, so instead of your typical Mother's Day, this is a little different. So I'm just gonna stamp that in Night of Navy. Okay, see how pretty that is? Clean that off. And then we are going to, let's see, let's add a little flower. Now, you could stamp a flower on here, or you could just stamp some leaves, or you could do nothing. I think actually we have enough of these extra flowers. I think I'm just gonna glue a flower on there. Why not, right? So I'm just gonna put a little glue on this flower, and it'll just pull everything all together. Why not if you have extra flowers? Whoop, instead of stamping, that was almost bad. I didn't have my silicone mat on there. Okay, look how cute that is. So that's good. All right, this is done. So now I'm going to, so we're gonna set that aside. Now we need another scrap of paper. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna show you how to create the calendar, because you're probably wondering, how does this work? This thing is so useful. You can use this for all occasions. It's got all of the months, and it's got this big stamp, and I'm gonna show you how to make that work. But you could make calendar, a 12-month calendar for someone as a gift that they can flip over every month. I really wanna do a demonstration on that. There's just a lot of fun stuff on this. I was really excited that this did carry over to the new catalog, because I haven't had enough time with it. So I'm really excited about that. So let me show you how it works. So you have a stamp that, oh, where is it? Okay, so you have 2 options. We are using this option. Let me put it, again, I just lay it flat and put it on my block this way so I know that it's not wonky. But you have Monday to Sunday, or you have Saturday to Sunday. I typically do Saturday to Sunday because that's my style, but you have options. So we're going to take the Saturday to Sunday, or Sunday to Saturday first, and we're going to stamp that. I'm going to stamp it in Night and Navy because I feel like the darker works better first. And I'm going to be die cutting this, so I just want to have enough room for the die to go on. So I'm going to stamp that down. Really nice. All right. And then the next thing I'm going to do is, it has all of the months. So this is May. So I'm going to take May. I'm going to put it on my little cube. And I think I'm going to do May in Balmy Blue, because again, I want to keep using the colors that are in the paper for that continuity. And I'm going to center May over the W, because that's right in the middle. I'm going to have to put my head in the camera. I apologize. I know it's annoying. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, May, that's it. All right, we're going to set that aside. So now I'm going to use the Petal Pink, which is the same color we used for the flowers. And we are going to, this is the block of numbers. So I looked at my calendar ahead of time and I see that May 1st is on a Monday. All right. So what you do is you get a Post-it note, or you can use a piece of paper. I find a Post-it note's easier because it sticks a little and it's easier to work with. There are 31 days in the month, so I don't have to worry about the 31. If there were only 30, you'd have to also cover up that 31. So basically I figure out where I need to block off. So I need to block this row off. And I have ink on this, so I don't want to make a mess, but I kind of hold it with my finger so it's out of the way, like that. All right, I'm gonna ink it up. Now, the good thing is the ink pads are 7 days of the week wide. So I can just stamp those 31 days. Just like that. I've masked off what I don't want. Now I'm going to take off my mask so I don't get ink on the paper. Now I'm going to have to put my head in your camera again, but you just have to line it up, number 1, under Monday. Make sure it's level as possible, and just stamp down. So it's really easy. There you go. Easy, huh? I know it looked a little daunting. I'm like, how in the world do they do that? It's not hard. All right, so then we have this cute little circle. I want to circle May 14th, which is Mother's Day. So I'm going to use the Night and Navy again because I like the way it pops out. I'm going to just lightly ink up that little circle. I'm going to hover my head in your view one more time. And I'm going to put the circle over that. So now we've circled the date because it's a special date. All right. Then I'm going to run that through my die cutter with a die, which I've already done for you, so you don't have to wait on me to do that. So I cut this out using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. You can just use a rectangle. You could even just use your paper cutter. You could tear, I mean, you can be so creative with this. So we cut that out with that. So now that's all ready. So our stamping is done. Now we're gonna assemble. So let's get all our pieces. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put this on the front with my adhesive, wherever it is, using the Stamp and Seal. And I might be running out. Might have to get another one out. This stuff's really strong, so it's easy to work with. All right, so now you're just going to layer that on. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for the inside here. This is the inside of our card for our greeting. I always like to stamp my insides before I attach them, because if I mess up, I can just flip it over. Okay, And then we're gonna do this piece. Once you get all of your cutting and your stamping done, it's really, really fast. All right, and I'm going to put this down. All right, now we're gonna take these two pieces. See if I can get it level. All right, so that's done. And now I'm going to use dimensionals for everything else. Oh, my adhesive held out. Okay. So this is a job for the take your pick tool, because otherwise I go crazy. All right, so this is gonna be on the back. We're gonna use the larger pieces on the back. You really want this to kind of pop up because this is your stopper for your card. So I'm gonna put these on here. And then you want to put it toward the front, but not too close, because you want your card to be able to have enough leverage to stand well. If you put it too far back, it's gonna fall over. So you kind of just want to not center it, maybe a little closer to the front. So I'm gonna put mine about right there. Okay, easy. Now remember those three little flowers? We're gonna flip those over and we're gonna put a dimensional on those. 1, 2, 3. This is why I love this take your pick tool. I spent more time trying to get the little papers off, and then I'd have them floating all over my RV. We'd have them stuck in the craziest places. I like to put the middle one on first, just because then it's easier to center the other two. There. And there. And put this little guy over here. Okay, so there's your stopper. And this is perfect. All right, so now we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna put dimensionals on it. I love these dimensionals. I use a lot of them. All right, you wanna make sure they're balanced out so they don't get smushed when you mail them. If you're not mailing them to someone, then I guess it's not such a big deal. I probably use more than I need to, but this is Mother's Day. So I feel like my mom had to put up with a lot of crap from me when I was growing up. So she's worth the extra effort of making sure everything's perfect, because she went through a lot raising us kids. All right. So now we're gonna I don't center it, I center it side to side and then maybe a little bit higher. All right. Get that on there as straight as possible. And now all we have to do is figure out how we want our flowers. So I'm gonna put a big flower at the bottom. Let's see, put it right there. And then I'm gonna get some of these smaller ones. And I really don't care if I cover up some of these numbers, as long as I'm not covering up the important number. It's just fine. So one here. We'll put it right here. And maybe one more. I don't know why. 3s always make sense. Putting things in 3s. So I could put it here. Or I could put it here. I think I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna be different on this one. I'm gonna put it over here. All right, and remember those leaves we had. So for the leaves, I'm not gonna use dimensionals because I think I like to see it underneath. So I'm gonna get a drop of glue, just put a little here and a little here. That's why we work on the craft sheet. So let's see, look at that, I put the glue on the wrong end. It would probably hold it just fine. I'll just do that one too, just in case. All right. So let's see. Put one here. And maybe one here. Guess what? There's a putty tip on this too. That helps a lot. All right, where should we put this third one? I think I'll put it here. That looks like a good spot. All right. You know, I think I want one more. I can do that, right? Oh, I think I have some extras. We're gonna cut one more. When you're cutting, fussy cutting, if you keep your scissors still and just move your paper, it makes it super easy. Ooh, I'm sticky. All right. All right. Let's see. Where should we put that? I feel like it just needed another spot. Let's do it here. Yeah, I like that. All right, there we go. So that's that. Now we need to add some bling. I have these glossy dot assortments. I really like them. They're pretty. I bought several packs. And the blue just happens to be perfect. So I use the little ones. You could use these yellow ones, would be pretty too if you were using more of the like Daffodil Delight or whatever. So we're gonna put those, they fit perfectly in the middle of the small flower because mom needs some bling. Okay, and the big flower is gonna get a big one. I wouldn't normally put this many on a card, but it's Mom's Day. And here it is. This is the medium size, works really well for the bigger flower. Look how super cute. All right, so our card is done. What do you think? It's perfect. It's so pretty. She's gonna love it. She's gonna probably put it out and have it out there till fall, I'm sure. So there's plenty of room to write a message. It's cute, but you're probably wondering, wait a minute, this is a 4x4 card. So you could put it in a regular envelope, but I'm gonna take the extra time to show you how to make a quick envelope. If you don't have one and you make cards that are all different sizes, you gotta get one of these. I will put a link to it. It's not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I'll put a link to it so you know where to find it. But this is an envelope punch board. These cards are 4x4, and on this punch board it gives you all the measurements for card sizes. So I'm using the 4.5 by 4.5, and it'll tell you 4.5 by 4.5 card. You need a piece of paper that's 7.5 by 7.5, and you need, the score line is 3 3/4. So what that means is you're gonna take a piece of printer paper, and I like to buy the higher quality printer paper so it's a little thicker. You're gonna cut that 7.5 by 7.5. By 7.5. Okay, that's it. Then it's just a matter of running it through here. So what I do is put it on the 3 3/4 mark, like it said. All right, I punch it, and then there's this little scoring tool. Okay, then you rotate it. And you just do that for all 4 sides. 3 3/4, punch it. Three and 3/4, punch it. So you do that for all 4 sides. Look at that. I did it and I didn't score it. 3 3/4, punch it. Okay, so you have all 4 sides done, and then you flip it over here if you'd like, and you just punch out each of these corners to make them rounded. Okay, and then you fold in the sides and score them. So you just fold these 3, and so I put one in and then the 2 sides out, and then all you have to do to create the envelope is take a line of your glue and put it here and fold it in, and put it here and fold it in. You've got your card. And then to make the top of the card pretty, let me show you the one I already did. You get a piece of your designer series paper and you put adhesive on your envelope, lay the paper on it, and then just take your scissors and cut it out. So now you've got a matching envelope. It just takes minutes to do, and you don't have to spend money buying weird card sizes when you make cards that don't fit regular envelopes. So this one fits perfectly in the envelope, and it even matches. So very easy. So if you don't have one of these, you should get one. You'll use it over and over, and it makes all kind of cards. You can even get larger paper. I think the biggest one listed here is 11.5 by 11.5. So you could use technically designer series paper and make a really big envelope for a really big card. So let's look at what we did. So here is the Mother's Day card that I made earlier, and I will post pictures. Here's the one we just made. And I wanted to show you the Father's Day card I made. So this is using the He's All That stamp set, which actually got added to the new annual catalog, so it's not going away, although the paper is, but there are some new papers coming out that will work great with this. So I did the same thing. I marked off June 18th. I created, my father-in-law's really into these little VW buses, so I love that this paper had that. I added some silver brads to the wheels to give them a little dimension. It's got a little greeting inside. Everything matches. Cute little Father's Day card. So there you go. And all of them will have their custom envelopes. So I hope you enjoyed this card. I will put the description below if you are interested in any of the products. Check out my links to my online store. I'll also link the punch board for you as well, and all of the products we use specifically on these cards. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, especially since that new catalog's coming out and I'll be sharing some really fun new products with you. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you soon. I'm Jill from The Wandering Stamper.